It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by the star of Red Sonja, Matilda Lutz. Matilda, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you guys for having me.
So let's do the obvious first question. Tell us a little bit about Red Sonja, both the movie and the character.
Well, she's a warrior, but she's also a survivor, and she has to battle her way through to defeat Dragon, and she does it on a obviously like badass, fierce warrior personality, but also on a very like humanly and caring way.
Yeah, well, I've already spoken to the director MJ Bassett, and when we spoke about you, and I asked, and don't take this the wrong way, obviously, as you know, in the original from Red Sonja Conan, Bridget Nielsen, who is I think something like 6'2".
Hmm.
In the comic books, also Red Sonja is a very large woman, and I asked why she went with you and not many other actresses who have come from the world of UFC and WWE and various other bits and pieces. And I asked her why she decided to go for you, why she wanted you in the role of Red Sonja. And she said to me that you brought heart and you were fierce and you were brave and everything, but you brought heart with it and everything else like that. And you brought a more compassionate side to it.
Hmm. I mean, it was very important for me to bring that part because as soon as I read the script before the self tapes and auditions and meetings with MJ, it was very clear to me that there was a big part of her that really wanted to, to find a better world and to like, find her people. So obviously it was like a goal that she had like selfishly, but also like she was really caring about the animals and the forest and what people were doing to her forest and the human beings and living beings. And it was very important to me that that came through. Obviously there's like a lot of action, entertainment, fights, swords, horseback riding, but that was very important for me to like have that in the film. And I feel like I have that as a base and as a human being. So for me, the challenging part at the beginning was to like build up muscles and start a diet and do all the training because I obviously am not like I don't have that metabolism. I've never done like that type of training. So for me, it was very important to bring that on. And I'm so glad that MJ and all of the people involved in the project decided to bring me on because it was the experience of a lifetime.
It absolutely looked like it as well. I know you didn't watch the film. I've read in a previous interview that you didn't watch the film, but you did read some of the comics. Was it quite
Yes.
important for you that you wanted to not have your judgment clouded and that you wanted to come at this from your direction?
Yes, I mean, I always tend like this especially was, a character that existed already, but like I try to like not mimic or try to like not mimic anybody else that has done a character, whether it's a film or theater or but comics is different because it's a drawing. And so for me it was important to like get kind of like the spirit of Red Sonja from the comics. And that's why I started reading them like early on because I didn't want to like have so many details when I started shooting. I didn't want to have my head in the comics. I wanted to read them and then kind of forget about them and then bring the essence that I read in the comics. And there's so many comics and they're so different. Obviously the character has evolved because the first one was in the 70s and now we're in 2025. So there's a lot of different versions of her. And I just wanted to read as much as I could before starting, prep so that I could get a sense of who she was in the comics. And then obviously like it's a different thing to like breathe air into the character and live and make it living.
Well, a lot of time has passed, like you say, especially from the 70s and then the 80s movies into 2025. And I don't think it's a secret, really, that obviously Red Sonja, the very early iterations were very much male fantasy. And here we are in 2025, and it's a very different world, and we've changed and we've grown. I wouldn't say that Red Sonja in this version of 2025, I wouldn't say it's a feminist film at all. I would say it's more of a real experience from today.
Like I decided to, play this character because it represent like I read the script and it represented what I feel, a woman could be in this world. And it's not about like the sexiness, it's not about, like the bikini. It's like the way the bikini was used as I thought was like a smart way because they're trying to dominate her. Draken is trying to dominate her to, like use it as a tool of possession and power towards her. But she kind of like turns it into her advantage and owns it, like, and she fights and she can fight in that bikini and she's not apologetic. And so I like that about, the fact that I would say it's kind of like a feminist film because in a way, like, they're feminism at the end of the day is like rights between, men and women. And she's like, I'm not gonna do and say what you want me to say and do. But if this is what I need to wear in order to like, get my freedom, I will do it and I will show you that I can do it. So yeah, I feel like that it's obviously like different because we're in 2025. So many years have passed from the first issue. Um, but yeah, like that was, I guess, our version of Red Sonja.
It is a very, very symbolic outfit, bikini, whatever you want to call it. Was there ever any talk of Red Sonja not wearing it?
So I don't think like I heard some things in prep, but I wasn't really aware of, like all of the talks behind the scenes about the bikini. I've heard in interviews where we were with like Luke Lieberman, who owns the rights of Red Sonja, that there were talks about like not, putting the bikini or, like in with the writers. Like I don't have that info specifically, but I know that there were questions and doubts about either like wearing the bikini or not.
How was it working with MJ? Because she's such an amazing director. Both she's done brilliant films, she's a fantastic TV director as well. So how was it working with MJ?
I mean, it was again the experience of a lifetime. She's such a passionate, powerful human being, knowledgeable on so many things. You get to like learn about all kinds of different things when you're working with her. Not just the movie and her character and like, like movie making, but also like just so much. She's so giving. And like there on set with you, she's protective. She gives you energy when you don't have it because it's like 5 a.m. in the morning and you're shooting in a bikini in the cold with fake rain, fake fire, and like you're exhausted because it's Friday after a week of like, 12 hours shooting. So and she's there like cheering you on and on set with you. So that part was just amazing because it's rare. It's rare you get somebody so passionate about what they do and like so just there with you all the time.
I think passionate is probably the real key word there because again when I spoke to MJ and we spoke about obviously this movie has been in discussion for 10, 15, 20 years and it's had various different directors and various different Red Sonjas attached to it right the way throughout. And then, they were almost going to scrap the film and she said, "Well, give it to me." They said, "Oh, it's got no budget, it's got no." Give it to me. I will do what and I think that really comes across in the movie that this isn't something that anybody had to twist her arm to do. This is something she really, really wanted to do.
Yes. Yeah. Like and you have that. You have that all the way through. Honestly, there was not one day where she was like low energy. It's crazy. Like I don't know how she did it, but like and I'm pretty like that way like similar to her. I enjoyed every second of making this film. I was feeling so grateful and blessed that I got to first of all, I feel grateful and blessed that I get to act and do what I love in life. But also, like, I got to learn horseback riding, shooting arrows, and climbing and sword fighting, and, like do all kinds of different things that was absolutely fun and so challenging to do.
I think we all have days where, even though we're doing a job we love, I think we all have days where it's a tough day for one reason or another. And I think you're right. Sometimes you just kind of have to remind yourself that I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be doing this. And I'm even on a day where I'm not feeling it, I'm going to put that smile on my face and remind myself why I'm here.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you have those days because life is funny sometimes. But like you have to remind I feel like I'm pretty good at that. I'm very grateful for the life I live.
Well, also, as well as a fantastic director, it was a fantastic cast as well. I mean, you've already mentioned Robert Sheehan, Wallace Day, truly, truly amazing cast.
Yes, and honestly, like the relationship we built on the set, it was so fun because like on the moments off, we were like, telling jokes and talking about life and singing and dancing. Like it was just like delightful to be with Wallace and Robert and Martin and all the Domnati, Luca and Michael Bisping and like so many like just good human beings. And again, I think MJ, she's the director, she's the maestro of the orchestra and she brought like amazing people on the set.
It's funny when you get on so well with a cast, those are the ones where you go, we need a sequel. We need a sequel just to get all of these people back in a room or a
Yes.
forest as it is.
Yeah. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
You do work with lots of animals in this film, especially with MJ's background in animals. What was harder, working with real animals or the imaginary ones?
I mean, it's it's a different kind of challenge, I will say. Um, the challenge with the horses, I mean, and it was something I will bring on with me for the rest of my life because it was such a magical thing to do. I got to do this training that's called Liberty, and it's the horse has no saddle, no reins, and you just have to build a connection basically with the horse on the ground, and you need him to follow you, and with like certain things that you do, like he needs to like do certain other things. Like it's just like the training with the horse was so magical, and they're such incredible, big creatures that I had to improvise a lot, obviously, because they improvise a lot, so you have to go along with it. And then with the fantastical, like the imaginary creatures, I mean, that's a whole different thing because you had like MJ with like a 10-meter stick with a tennis ball on top, like running around the arena pretending to be a cyclops. And you had to like make it like scary. So like that's I feel like it's so funny what we get to do when you have like CGI and like fantastical imaginary creatures because it's kind of like going back to childhood. You just like pretend something's there and you have to play with it, and it's funny and weird.
So one final question from me. What's next for you?
Well, I have a film coming out called Arachnid, and another one, an indie film, from a Swiss Mexican director called A Few Days in the Sun. And then I'm gonna start shooting a series soon, but I can't really say anything yet.
Oh, come on, Matilda. Don't say that to us.
But it's gonna be a great one.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on your socials and all the other bits and pieces because I know that we're very, very excited about that. But right now, of course, it is all about Red Sonja. I know that this has kind of had a few sneak peek reviews on in cinemas. I know in America it's got a few more, and in the UK there's been a few showings over here as well. But Red Sonja is available on digital from the 18th of August and to buy on DVD and Blu-ray from the 8th of September. Matilda, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for talking to me.
You,
Enjoy the
Paul.
rest of
Take
your
care.
day.
Thank you. You too.